Hello beautiful people, it's Sinderfam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're back again with another video, and this is from Turning Point USA. This is Brandon Tatum sharing the importance of marriage or importance of building families. So we're gonna be checking this together. Let's check it out.
Let me speak to the young men real quick. I spoke about this the other day because I want you all to leave here with something other than just politics. The greatest accomplishment that a man will have in his life, that's going to be the biggest determining factor in his success by and large, is the person you marry. I'm going to let that ruminate for a minute. Same with women, but I'm going to talk to the young boys for now, young men. The person you marry will help you become what God has called you to be, or the person can tear you down. I know you guys seen this little situation going on with Travis Hunter. Do not, by any means, have a woman in your life that's not looking out for your best interests. Young women, I want you to think the same thing when you're looking for someone that you plan on marrying. Make sure it's a young man with integrity. Make sure that you go through life and find your purpose. The problem with these situations, and young people experience this all the time, and the reason I talk about this because when I was your age, a lot of what I was thinking about was being in a relationship and being married and all of that. It consumed a lot of the things that I thought about. But I want to give you guys some guidance to do it the right way. You should be purpose-driven first. Find out who you are. Find out what you like, what your interests are, so you can better navigate the person that you will have in your life. If you go on a date, young women, and that brother asks you to split the bill, I almost told you to call the police, but you can't call the police. They ain't gonna do nothing for you. It should be a crime for you to take a woman on a date and you can't pay. And young men, listen to me very clearly, because it's not a knock on your finances. But if you take a young lady on a date and you can't pay, that means you ain't ready yet.
The officer Tatum is spot on this one because in the society currently live in today, the society places unrealistic expectations, dating expectations, you name it, relationship expectations for both men and women. And then when they get out there, they expect something different and they see something different. So some of them don't even know how to act. That's the reason why we have lots of relationship marriages falling apart, because people think one thing and expect one thing, and when reality hits, it becomes a problem, it becomes new, surprising, because obviously they see it in social media, movies and all of that. They're telling them otherwise, or they're telling them, oh, this is the kind of guy you have to get, or some people are coaching and telling them, oh, this is the kind of guy you should go for, or this is the kind of girl you should go for. Unrealistic expectations. So lots of people really don't know how to act. And obviously, we still got some people who don't want to work for nothing. They don't want to work in a relationship. They don't want to work for their marriage or whatever. They just want it to start working for them. Listen, it takes two to tango. People think that once they get a ring, let's just say for some women, for some ladies, they think once they get the ring, then that's the end of it. Then they have to do nothing, or they don't have to do nothing to keep the relationship going or the relationship to keep surviving. Listen, the relationship is just a test. The marriage is where you have to do the work, because you think you got work to do. Of course not. Both male and female, both the man and the woman, when you're married, that is where the work begins, because the relationship or the marriage depends on both of you to keep it alive, and both of you really have to bring your A game and start working together, bringing each other's um putting each other first, and the both of you really need to think through, is this something you're ready for, or are you ready for this? But obviously lots of people really don't think about it. They really don't want to work for their relationship. They just want people to, or take advice they get from people all on the internet, or because they see their friends marriage is like this or whatever that works for their marriage, then they think that is how all relationship is supposed to be. Listen, everybody's relationship dynamic is different, and I keep saying this, or we keep saying this on this channel. Everybody's relationship or marriage dynamics is completely different. You run your marriage as best fits, not because somebody is telling you how to, but obviously some people just share some guidelines on how to and watch out what to watch out for. But people really need to work for their relationship, put in the work and be present in the relationship, because obviously there are people who don't want to stay present or focus on their relationship. They just want to wait and take handouts from some people and use that manual or use that handout to fit in their own relationship because it works for somebody. Exactly. It doesn't work like that. What works for person B or person A is not what's going to work for person C. Everybody is going to run their relationship or marriage differently. And it is going to be you and your partner doing it together for what works best for you. Obviously, the idea where people say, oh, 50-50 works for them. Listen, everybody, 50-50 is not going to work for everybody. And that is just the plain truth. In marriage, yeah, majority of the time you're not going to be at your best at 50-50. And obviously, even when you're single, you weren't even at your best at 50 or at 100. So why do you think when you're in marriage or when you're married, you're supposed to be at your best at 50 at all times? The thing is, people don't really want to sacrifice for nothing. They just leave the relationship to be surviving on survival mode just for one person to do the work alone. It doesn't work that way. That's the reason why both people or both parties are going to come together as one.
Hi, my name is Abigail Vallandingham. I'm from Kentucky, and I was wondering what kind of advice do you have for married couples, and also how would you combat violent threats on campuses due to politics if you were a disabled person and when there's no campus carry?
Okay, I missed the first part of that question.
What kind of advice do you have for married couples?
Married couples?
Yes.
Oh, well, I got it. How much time you got? No, realistically, I think that when you decide to get married, it is a commitment for life. Congratulations. It doesn't matter how you feel. Sometimes you're going to be upset. My wife probably upset with me half of the time. Too bad, because we married, right? But you also have to do this. Let me say this. I think it's important. All jokes aside. As a husband, your entire mission and goal is to say, how do I serve my wife? That's my whole goal in life. And wives, how do I serve my husband? If two people are spending all of their time, effort, and energy not being selfish in what you're going to do for me, but if you think, what can I do for my spouse? Both people doing that back and forth, that's going to be a long marriage. Don't be selfish, and you will have a long-lasting marriage. What were you say? One more?
This will be the last question.
Okay, perfect.
Hello, Officer Tatum. It was a pleasure to see you. I actually had one question regarding about dating and marriage. So I actually also live in Washington State, and it's a prime example over there. And I also wanted to apologize that you had to suffer so much animosity over at UW. But that's actually pretty much like the cause of Washington State, because they don't have the best people. But about dating, don't you think, like in 2024, I personally think in a few ways that it's not a bad idea for the woman to go approach the man rather than the man to go approach the woman. What do you think about that? Because with so much fake cases and whatnot, and with the degradation of respect to a man, I think I would like to hear your thoughts on that. I apologize to ask that, but
thank you for that. Hey, women, what do you think about approaching a man versus a man approaching a woman? I think you got your answer. But I know why a man would feel that way, because sometimes it's very difficult to be rejected. So women, y'all also have to be friendly enough, right? You can't walk around with a resting face, if you know what I'm talking about. Unapproachable. I don't like him because he's not 6'2". Don't be that person. Be open-minded to date. Because I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Me and the wife talk about this all the time. If you worried about height, you finna be single for a long time. Because there's like 1% of guys who are 6'2", and you think they got to make money too? Y'all want unicorns out here. You can give a man a grace. They trying, okay? Women, they trying. They need y'all. All right? They need y'all to get the hygiene right. They need y'all to boost them up. My wife, when we first got married, I think I was all right with the fashion and stuff. She didn't want me to wear those holy jeans last time, so that wasn't her. Don't blame her, it was me. But my wife bossed me up. I ain't know how to dress. I ain't know what kind of stuff to have, but I had a good wife that elevated me a little bit. So women, if you see a man with some good potential, give him a little booster. Elevate him up. He'll be the man you want him to be. All right? God bless you guys.
This is the message right here. The society is breeding lots of selfish people who don't want to work for nothing or work for a relationship or work to be in a relationship at all. Exactly what the officer Tatum said. You don't have to be selfish. You can't be selfish in your marriage or in a relationship. It takes two people to tango, and two people really need to come together to keep the relationship and the marriage surviving, working, obviously. And what the question the guy asked is not wrong. You know, want to know why? Because obviously society is breeding or is making men weak and making men more feminine and making women more masculine. So obviously the expectation on that side, people have to ask the question, because obviously where are we going if we have strong independent women that don't need a man, or if we have women who want to be men or want to be masculine and men who wants to be women? Where do we go from here? Is not wrong. And you also want to know the reason why, because most of the time when men approach or ask women out and all of that, sometimes they get wrongly accused for of something. And if we're being honest, no man wants their image to be tarnished just because they approached a girl. So obviously they are scared of approaching girls. So obviously the right question will be, why not women do it or approach the men? Because obviously now the society wants to divide both men and women, obviously with the belief all women cry or whatever scheme. So obviously if a woman cries, then it falls on a man, the man gets wrongly accused. So men are scared, men don't want that, obviously. So now the question still, it boils down to the women. And also with the society placing unrealistic expectations for both men and women, relationship standards and all of that, it is not helping at all. But again, we need strong men in the society, not weak men. We need men to be masculine, not feminine. We need men to be strong, not weak. And we don't need men to be women. We don't need women to be masculine. We don't need women to be men. We need women to be feminine, men to be masculine. But I really love your thoughts in the and your contribution in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about what the officer shared here. Obviously, lots of people have relationship and marriage contribution that they also want to share. I would love your thoughts.